Should the prequels be remade? This is a question many fans have, and the reason they have it is because a lot of people don't like the prequels. Statistically speaking, a lot of people do not like the prequels at all, and that's just the truth. I mean, come on, guys. We got to talk about the facts here, and facts are poll after poll after poll shows people like the originals more than like the prequels, and people do not like the prequels because they just don't like them. That's just life. You got to get over it. I'm sorry if that hurts, but just accept it. If you like the prequels, great for you, but no one cares. So, should the prequels be remade, though? Not really. And the reason I say that is because just because something's bad doesn't mean it needs to be remade, because even good things that are remade turn out bad. Look at The Karate Kid. Look at Footloose. Look at Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Look at Get Carter. Look at all these movies that were really good during their time that just were remade for no reason. Planet of the Apes, the 2000 version, the 2001 version, I believe, was horrible compared to the original version from the 1970s. So why would they remake them? Well, because they believe they can make it better and make money off it. However, this is not the case for the prequels. People don't want to remake it because they want to make money off it. People want to remake it because they think the prequels are bad, and they think that remaking them will do them justice. This is false. The reason being is the prequels are there for a reason. I'm making the same argument I made with the Confederate monuments. Now, I don't think I'm a racist or anything. I really don't care if you think I am or not, because I'm not. But anyways, the argument I had with the Confederate monuments being taken down is the same argument I had with the prequels being remade. It serves no purpose, because the reason they are there is because they serve a purpose. The prequels and the Confederate monuments are there for a very reason. In my opinion, they're a scar. They are a scar to everyone who sees them. You see the Confederate monuments, you go, wow, those guys stood for slavery. And yes, most of them stood for states' rights, but they still stood for slavery, which many people will agree, if not everyone will agree, is wrong and, kind of immoral. Even the Founding Fathers knew this was immoral. But why do we use them, why do we have them, is because they serve that scar to go, wow, that was really messed up, we shouldn't do that again. That's the same thing I'm doing with the prequels. I look at that and I go, wow, that was really bad, I don't want to see that again. Even though some, I will say, I do watch them from time to time because they're not the worst things in the world. They are Star Wars and they are still very decent films. But they are a scar to me because they go, wow, it makes me think in my head, wow, I hope that never happens again. So if we remake them, what are we doing with these things? With the first original three we have? We're saying, bye-bye, you never happened, and we're getting new ones. I don't like that. I like using the original prequels going, oh, that's a scar, we should never do that again. Now, to be fair, just because we know you remake them doesn't mean the first three aren't there and doesn't mean they're still not a scar. However, we're kind of covering that scar. All that work we spent on those three movies is completely gone and forever forgotten. The same thing I have with the Confederate monuments is if we get rid of it, it's like, well, now where's the scar? You need to have scars to remember what you did wrong and why it happened. I have a scar on my right knuckle, or my right hand, on my index finger knuckle, because when I was a kid, I jumped out of a car when I was 13 years old trying to be cool. What do I learn from that? Ow, it hurt, and also don't be stupid and jump out of a car. I know that now because I have a scar from it. I really know it really well. But I also have, I don't even have a scar, but I had surgery when I was a kid on my right eye because I had amblyopia because I was going blind in my right eye. And eventually I would have gone blind completely, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. I was really young when it happened. But my point is, I don't really remember that well. If anyone asks me about the scars I have on my body, I'm going to show them the one on my shoulder from surgery, and I'm going to show them the one on my knuckle from jumping out of a car. These scars I'm always going to remember for the rest of my life. But I'm not going to remember the one in my right eye because it's not a scar. It's not there. It's completely erased from history. And eventually I'm going to forget I ever had the surgery. That is the reason we have scars. And that's the reason we should keep the prequels. And I guess you could even keep up with the Confederate monument argument. But this is mainly about the prequels. We have to keep these scars to look at them and go, wow, these are here for a purpose. Some people like the prequels, some people don't. And you can't just shit on something because you don't like it. You can't just sit there and, erase it and act like it never happened simply because you don't like it. A lot of people do like the prequels. Now, a lot of people don't. More people don't like them than people that do like them, but a lot of people like them. And in 20 to 30 years, whenever they actually would remake the prequels, the people who don't like them are honestly probably going to be dead. Like, let's just be honest. Now, I'm not going to be dead. At least I hope not. But a lot of people that grew up with the prequels are going to be older by then, and they're going to get their kids into it. And the reason they like the prequels is because it doesn't look so old-timey like the originals do. It looks more modern, and therefore a lot of kids are going to like that a little more. They're going to want to see the flashiness compared to the original Star Wars where there's not that much flashiness going on. So over time, people are going to like the prequels a lot more than like the originals. And then, what do you know, they might actually remake the originals, which I highly doubt will ever happen because it's going to be kind of like the Back to the Future where no matter what era you watch it in, you're going to watch it and probably be like, wow, this is really good. At least if you're at the right age to, understand what a good movie is. So if you're not going to remake Back to the Future, you shouldn't remake, the prequels. Even though Back to the Future 3 was horrible, you don't want to remake it. Why not? Because it's still Back to the Future. And that's the same thing with the Star Wars prequels. Why would you want to remake them? Because there are some good aspects to them. Ewan McGregor was great in it. Natalie Portman, but there was a lot of cool action. And there was some solid acting in there, and there's a lot of jokes that came from the prequels. We have nothing but endless memes from the prequels, and who doesn't love those? The prequels gave better memes out than the originals ever will, and that's just true. So, no, I don't want the prequels to be remade. You want to know why? Because they're a scar for me, but they're also a fond memory of my childhood. And they're going to be a fond memory from everyone's childhood. And in 20, 30 years, if someone tells me, hey, they're remaking the prequels, I'm going to go, I didn't really like the first three, why would I really want to give the next three a try? And also, what's the point? It's just another money cash grab that Disney or Lucasfilm is trying to make. And I just don't agree with that morally. So comment your thoughts below. Should the prequels be remade, or should we keep them the way they are? I'm Star Wars Only. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you all next time. May the Force be with you, always.